好，先观察试试看。
I know, some people do. What they don't understand is the food that they eat, the produce, it had this in it. It helped it grow, right? That's so cool.
So you see the worms in here?
I know, I want to. There are free books for kids too if you like them.
They have more books. Look.
Story, okay?
Oh, thank you. No problem.
I guess that's because they got birthed out. Hi, you can go.
Thank you. Can I take a picture?
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
your book? Can I take a picture of her?
Yeah.
With her book? Yeah, I mean, you want to hold it?
Oh, I see. Okay. Place to restore the earth.
You want to take a photo?
Oh, yes.
So, what's about this place? Like, what is this? It's more about the fertilization.
Yeah, the use of your kitchen scraps so you don't put it in the garbage.
So all the food waste
Yeah, so
gone into
because
the-
when your food waste goes to the landfill, it emits harmful gases that
Okay.
could be avoided by keeping them aerated and feeding other creatures, and it creates fertilizer.
Okay, nice.
So this is a small version that you can keep in even an apartment where you don't have outdoor access.
What did you like?
So you can actually buy worms online.
That's-
Believe it or not, this is a whole composting practice. They sell this particular
Type of
worm
worm?
that lives well in limited space and only lives naturally within a few inches of the soil anyways.
only for like a generating.
Hi, we have
So
free
is
books.
it specifically for the
Not specific, but it's
specific?
more conducive to this type of environment versus other worms who maybe would have naturally wanted a deeper soil depth, they wouldn't be as happy here.
Interesting. Ah,
So I made a little flyer here. It usually lives on my bookshelf and I put a little curtain.
So eventually the worm's gonna crawl out and then go to all the books and then eat up all the papers.
They crawled maybe like 6 feet away and they die overnight. They dry out.
Because they dry out. Wow.
But it hasn't been a problem since, so that's a sign that they're happy. They would prefer to stay in the moss than.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, thank you very much, Naomi. It's been a very interesting presentation about the new, and it's pretty compact as well.
Yeah.
You can just
I
like.
would have actually liked. I feel like there's a design flaw. They should have made this deeper.
Oh wow.
I don't need that much space for drainage.
Oh, wow. Oh, I mean, I think this still works as a drainage though.
But it at least keeps me limited to like this is as much as I can compost. I can't go crazy with it.
Mm.
And
I
it's
see.
harder to keep out pests if it's a bigger operation.
I see. Oh, all right. So umbrella neighborhood maintenance. So how to improve the gardening and the environments around the urban area. Oh wow. Inspired by
our past, working for our future.
futures. And it's been written in Chinese. And what's this?
And Spanish.
Spanish.
Nice shadow work on the
Wow. So it's been printed on the.
Yeah, it's I spray
okay.
paint.
Oh,
Is the
okay. I
bottom,
see.
and then the top is stencil in with
Oh, wow.
fabric paint.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, you should
So I'm
make
gonna
a.
wear it now, and
You're
as I'm
gonna-
cleaning, people can see. Maybe read the message and get involved with us.
It's definitely like eye-catching.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me take a picture for you.
My
Nice.
mask.
Okay.
Look at this too. Look at this. Look at that.
Do you like spike? Do you like gumball with spikes? No, lollipop for him.
See, this textile works. Almost like. So is this a fabric that you bought it from like? Is this a random fabric or is it a specific fabric that you choose or?
It's a random fabric for this one. Usually, traditionally in Korea, when they're making jugakko, you know, they didn't have printing skill back then. They have the dyeing skill, but they didn't have the printing skill, so it doesn't make sense to have any print
I see.
patterns over
Okay.
it. However, the spirit is to use scrap fabric, you know, and then work with the patterns. It doesn't have to, I mean, I use grid pattern, but it doesn't have to be this pattern. The pattern comes in everything.
Can it be more random to the like?
Absolutely. Something like this.
I
Something like
see.
this too. So it could be completely,
Random and stitched. it.
yeah, and then spontaneous and irregular too. That's
wow,
the
this
beauty
is
of
so
this
huge.
kind of stitches, this kind of work.
And it's like, since you said it's coming from Korea, is it like any like historical backgrounds that kind of related with this sort of
Sure.
almost like an activity or ritual?
Well, at the time, 19th century, when it was Joseon Dynasty in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
you know, women's role in the society was very little. They didn't have any place to go. They didn't have any community. And then doing sewing work and stitching work is one way to build a community.
I see.
Sorry. So
Okay.
that's where they're going. Sure. This is
Carry
a
on,
little
carry on.
harder thing to do. It's very challenging.
See.
I'm gonna show you this. It might take a million years.
It's a nice piece of fabrics. So stitched it up together, making really firm, kind of solid patterns. Nice.
I'm gonna use this needle, okay? Because it's a little deeper head.
What about this?
A lot easier,
I
right?
love this color.
Can you make a knot, or do you want me to make a knot for you? Can you do this next time? Okay, there you go.
So carry on.
Yeah. So going back to the story of it, also like rich people didn't have to use this kind of spread fabric. It's all for the people who
True.
are not wealthy enough.
Yeah.
But they
most
wanna-
likely like found out from the ground or in like
people
places.
who make the clothes, they have a lot of scrap fabric, so they collect them together. It doesn't mean that just because they're poor, they don't have right to have something beautiful.
Mm.
So they put it together to make a nice, really wrapping cloth that they can wrap food and fabrics and gifts
See.
to the other people. So that's where the tradition is coming. And this is one of the surviving tradition folk art in Korea too, that people really liked to make it.
Do you think it really like heavily affected a Korea people in culturally when the Korea War happened? Do you think it's sort of like related to as well?
I don't know.
No, it's
on
not
part,
that. It's
actually.
way more before than that.
Yeah, and Korean War actually destroyed a lot of tradition and folk art and
I
stuff
see.
like that too. So I can't really tell that it's related to Korean War, but it started from the 18th century, 19th century in Korea.
How we do this?
I see.
He has an idea. He says
More-
he's
more
going to
founded
make a
Korea
blanket
culture.
for him.
Sorry, what did you say?
He had an idea. He said he's going to make a blanket for him.
Wow, that's very ambitious, right?
Nice. I like this.
Is what? I have a question.
Sure.
Is one pillow like really hard to make?
How do you open this? It's like really hard to open.
Not like that. You need to hold
Wrap
this
and collar.
here. And you don't
Korean textiles and costumes of a Joseon dynasty.
How much years have you been doing this?
Many years.
Hello. Hello.
So many years.
Mama. Let me go. She's having a So, is this like that? Is it like
I actually, coming back as an adult, I forgot that this was a building until we went around the back of this building. Yeah, I imagine we did see the tree. The original tree right before I died. You're there, but we got a few other meetings that goes back there. Do you have any events coming up? Yes. We've got,
We're doing a series called In Your Neighborhood, which focuses on contemporary Queens history and culture. We're highlighting different places around Queens and different communities, trying to like implement see their perspectives. We've done one my husband did one on film it's an orange flavored dessert bread. Very good.
And that's Greek?
No, this is Mexican.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when you said the dead, I thought it was Mexican.
So, What's the name of this species again, though?
So this piece is called Reach For It. It's inspired by my deceased grandmother. She passed away in 2013, and she's from Grenada. And I wasn't able to go to her funeral, unfortunately. And then in 2019, I lost a ring that she gave me. It was actually made in Grenada. It had my initial letter D on it. So, you know, it was a gold ring. And I wanted to kind of create some kind of memorial in honor of, you know, the ring, which also kind of stands in for her presence. You know, having the ring, I never took it off until it slipped off my finger. And I wanted to create this piece that in some way kind of, you know, honored her. And, you know, and also my heritage, just, you know, Grenada's a spice isle, so I had to, you know, put the cayenne peppers on there. And
I see, so this is a cayenne pepper.
Yes.
That you recreated with the... I thought it was an actual pepper from the distance when I first saw this.
No, these are actual... No, those are peppers that are... I didn't create these peppers. These are actually objects that I got from materials for the arts. I was a resident there, an artisan resident.
And then you sort of like hanged it up on it as if it's almost like a ritual way.
So, you know, altar is kind of like within my visual language. I kind of use, you know, this devotional kind of aesthetic in my work a lot. I've been trying to create kind of sacred spaces and spaces that you wouldn't expect them to be, like here, public space.
In the sweeping beach parks.
Yeah, parks. So you know, I wanted to create this, and it's been a lot of fun watching, you know, kids run up and you know, look at it and ask questions.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people gonna be like kind of confused about it at some point. It looks like a giant drying rack. At the same time, it almost like reminds me a certain ritual happening throughout it. It's just like this mat is almost, you know, you can kneel on it as well to pray.
It is a drying rack, actually. That you know, when I saw the rack, I was thinking, you know, I need to find a way to kind of like work with this because it's just a magnificent object. And you know, I ended up thinking more about my grandmother. The reason I've been thinking about this is because I have a solo show coming up in Flux Factory. So May 6th, I'm going to showcase a solo show in honor of my grandmother, and basically a lot of what I spoke about regarding this piece. When I was told to, you know, show a piece here, I thought, you know, of creating a sister piece or a piece that was sort of a conversation with what I'm going to present, specifically for this show.
I see. So it's very like, almost like you want to talk about with the idea of death and beyond, and then and also like remembering about someone who you used to love. You know?
Yes, and I mean honestly, I think a lot of that was encouraged by, I mean, everything that we've been feeling in the air. You know, the zeitgeist of our time in 2020. There's been a lot of loss and a lot of remembrance, and you know, just trying to honor people who have maybe passed away now, but even from before, who maybe we haven't really had the chance to sit down and really be stuck at home and think about it. You know, so I think that that's kind of what brought this on. In addition to losing that ring, that's really.
I see.
It was 2 years of being pissed that I lost the ring.
Oh
and then it
my
was,
God!
You know,
you decided to
a lot
try.
of reflecting on how I could turn it into something new.
So this is your new ring that will be lasted.
This whole series, in addition to the show that I'm going to put on in Flux Factory, is kind of the replacement ring.
Well, at least it's not going to slip out from your fingers this time.
It's not. Yeah, these are all my hands, by the way. I was just looking at my hand and I painted them.
Oh, is it sort of like relating with the idea that you lost from your fingers, I guess? Reaching out for it.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. Damn. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well. Yeah.
Hi. Gonna walk by the park now and actually pick up the litter. And they're gonna be taking care of the gumballs. I don't know what you call those things.
Okay. So what's gonna be happening soon? Is it gonna be like massive clear out of this area, or?
Yeah. So what the Parks Department needed was to clear out these seed balls, and so that's what they're gonna be doing. And then I'm gonna be walking around and just like picking up litter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Make the park clean, have it more better.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I need to set up. This seems sort of perfect, but that seems selfish of me. I want to wait.
Go into the circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, in the middle would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the middle definitely gonna be more spotting. Push it a bit more middle, I think.
Put it before you put it.
I'm just trying to figure out where you're gonna sit. Like you sit there or there.
You sit, well, I gotta get some other parts out. But you
Metal?
sit here, no. You sit here, and there's a couple of bars that come down, and if I spread them, they hold the spoon for carving. It's really mostly just to attract attention.
Okay.
I could really just carve the spoon like this if I wanted. And this is for extra.
Alright.
Wow.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, you
I'll
need
probably need a gallon or two,
Oh, okay.
which I thought I would bring a couple of the containers.
Oh,
But then I thought maybe the.
Too personal?
I usually tell my American name.
Why?
I don't know. That's
So I can draw lines.
So that's how it's all This might be
How
a
long
bit
does it
too
take to
big,
make a
just
spoon?
saying.
I'm not finished yet.
How long does it take to make a spoon?
A couple hours.
How many hours?
It depends on if I start from
Depends on the
From the
size
log?
and texture.
this maybe
It depends on the. It depends on. It depends.
maybe 4 hours.
It depends on the size, texture, and.
That's right.
就是一般般的，就不是很厚，这里刀子不快，这里没有刀子。
没有刀子，你看。
I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna leave, yeah, shortly. But I wanted to try your tea.
Right. So you said you wanted raw without sugar.
No sugar.
Milk.
Milk is fine.
Cool. So this tea is from Mirzapur Tea Garden, which is situated in Bangladesh, and we learned drinking tea from the British when we were a colony.
Oh wow.
And they found it in China. They introduced it to the Indian subcontinent.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's how we drink tea all the time
Took it
now.
from Asia, brought it back to Asia.
And you know, the first multinational company was the East India Company.
Yeah.
Which was situated in Bengal.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Tea and many other things were being traded all over. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And this particular company, the Isfahani, they came from Persia, which is now Iran. And here you go. And they started growing tea as well, and they're in the real estate business. They had to come because their people were, that area was plundered, looted by another group of people, so they scattered. Some of them came to Bangladesh, so they still have tea business. So they're the Isfahanis who fled from another place.
Okay.
And the tea business was started by the British, so This location is also interesting. We have a colonial house.
What?
This
Oh,
location
colonial.
is also
Yes, we got the colonial house right there. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a relationship between. It's a very interesting. That's a very interesting aspect as well. There's in the world. There's always a ruler and being ruled. Like India, China, South Korea, and America. It's all been ruled by some other strong country, England. You know. And I came.
Australia.
Australia as well. You know.
Them in there.
Which is really like, but also that also defines our culture, like defines the, at some point it really makes the foundation of a certain history of culture. That really questioned me, like what is making a culture?
Yeah.
What is the founding the culture? You know,
Definitely,
like I said, you
because-
said it that this tea came from China.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then-
originally, but you know now it's like a staple. Like you,
Yeah, like
Bengali culture and tea are together. You can't separate it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Which
because, you
is-
know, our hanging out. You know, we call it adda. Adda is like for long periods of time you just sit down and hang out and have cups of tea and talk about whatnot. You know, like
Mm.
it can be anything. And you can see the tea stalls at street corners, curbside, or stalls, or even restaurants or cafes where they'll serve tea. And hours people will just sit and talk and hang out. And it's very much based on tea. And as you said, you know, like.
But it's
that culture-
it's from China, but it became Bangladesh's.
Yeah, so the British
standpoint.
afternoon tea is something else. But when it mixed with the Bengali culture,
Mm.
it doesn't have any time limited to afternoon tea only. It can
No,
be any time of
and
the
it can be any time on
Yeah,
it.
so-
Like,
for example, in West Bengal, most people wake up and like here, you know, people before going to work, they'll have their coffee, morning coffee. Over there, it's tea with a couple of biscuits, cookies, you know, and that's their first thing in the morning. Even in our part, Bangladesh, first thing in the morning, lots of people will have tea. Sometimes raw, but then later, as the day progresses, then later in the afternoon, in the evening, it's very thick liquor tea with evaporated milk, lots of
wow.
sugar, so it's very sweet, and you know it's brewed in big
that has more
glass.
tea varieties and
I mean, it's
cultures
the same
going.
tea leaf, but
But the way how they
process,
brewing it and then taking it,
Exactly.
the performance is different to country.
Yeah, I mean, even during the day it will change in the same community.
Mm.
How you drink tea in the morning and how you drink tea in the afternoon and the evening will change.
That's crazy. Never thought about it like that.
It's the same
much.
tea, same raw materials, but the making of it is different.
A vegetable basket. Does anyone have a vegetable basket on their board?
Yes.
Put it down on the
Yes,
ground.
Yandri, yes.
So put it right there.
Found it.
Put it right there.
Put it.
Yeah?
Put it.
You have a vegetable basket? Do you have one?
I don't have one.
You don't have one? Oh, you look, you have one right here.
I just
Yay,
got the one
vegetable
worm.
basket.
Oh, that's a vegetable basket?
Let's see, what's next? Oh, yeah.
Tree is a
That one.
vegetable. Oh, that.
What's next? A watering can. Watering can. Grab some more.
This is actually pretty fun.
You got it? Yeah. Good job. Here we go.
I found it. Look at that.
So you have curly hair. Your mother depicted you with curly hair. Yes. So you see that there's a two colors there, right? So all you have to do is when you see this happen,
How are
you
you?
need to kind of clean. So beautiful. So when you need to change color, or just you see that you don't want to pollute that part, so you just basically you bring it out, you rinse it, and you change to another color. For instance, I want to change it to red. So this way, the color here and here will never be polluted. All right. So every time, just remember to wash your brush. That's the only method you need to do. All right. That's beautiful. That's when she put her hair down.